knowledge.
Okay. Today we are going to talk about the IELTS writing module. In IELTS writing module there are two tasks, Task 1 and Task 2. Task 1 is based on report writing for academic students, those who wants to go abroad for higher studies or for education purpose. Got it? You have to write a report, and that report word limit is 150 to 170 words, and in 20 minutes. Now in IELTS writing task 2 you have to write an essay, and this essay is based on 250 to 270 words in 40 minutes. Now the total time for task 1 and task 2 is 1 hour. If you want that I spend 20 minutes on essay writing and 40 minutes on report writing, that's up to you. Got it? The examiner provides you just 1 hour for you for the task 1 and task 2. Got it? In the task 1 you have to write a report. A report may be from some medical also, maybe you came across the ultrasound report, then the doctor looks into it, the whole information is shared in that report. Got it? And the police report and FIR report and many types of reports are there. So over here you also have to write a report, and that report is based on a trend of something. That report is based on comparison of something, and that report is based on process. Like how a cup of tea is made, it has a lot of process. So that cup of tea which is made and take a lot of process has been shown by a diagram. How a cup of tea is made, how a plastic bottle is made, how the oxygen is prepared. It must have some steps, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is called process. Another part of process is map. You will be provided one map or two map. Often you will come across two map. Two map you will target the main changes in the maps. For example, one map has these 5 changes and other map has 3. So compare those two maps and write down the main changes. One map has, the other map hasn't. Got it? So you will write a report that is based on a trend. You will write a report that is based on comparison. Or you will write a report that may be based on process. Now you will think that yes, I will write a report and I will look into the material, that where is the trend, where is the comparison. Now how can I find the trend? How can I find the comparison? And how can I find the process? You need some source. So those sources are available here in the form of bar graph. This simply means that you will write a report which is based on a trend you can find in the bar graph. The bar graph has a trend where you are going to write a report. The line graph has a trend and you are going to write a report. And the pie chart has a trend, you are going to write a report. And also table, map and process. Got it? You will write a report of a bar graph. What is bar graph? What are the things that is included in the bar graph? I'll give you a very simplest answer. Look at, do you people watch cricket? After some time on the screen you'll see a bar graph or a line graph, the performance of the two teams and the performance of a separate player. That bar graph and that line graph suggests and shows us information. For example, last time I was watching a cricket match and the performance of India and the performance of South Africa was there on the line graph. That was same in 10 hours. That was very good. it was moving similar. So the trend was similar. So I have to write a report on a line graph of two cricket match between Africa and India in 2024. Got it? So I will report in this way. And I have to show the trend. The trend of South Africa was quite similar when there was left 12 over. So this means that Africa and India was moving similar. The performance of Africa was very strong than India in 10 overs. Got it? This was the information which I was trying to find out the trend. The trend of South Africa was high. When we come to the comparison, so I can say that the trend of South Africa was much better than the India. That was called comparison. Got it? So you have to write a report, and that report may be a trend, comparison, or process. You can find that trend and comparison in line graph, bar graph, pie chart, and table. When you find out the process, when you want to find out the process, so you will see the map and the diagram. Got it? You collect the information. You need to write a report, and that report is based on a trend, comparison, or process. Got it? Where you will find that trend, where you will find that comparison? In bar graph, line graph, pie chart, table, map, and diagram. Got it? When you want to discover the process of something, how a cup of tea is made, you have to find it in the diagram. And the diagram has steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. Some diagram does not have steps mentioned there. So you will write to report it firstly, secondly, next, and then finally you will mention that. Next step. Got it? You find out the trend in the bar graph. Your concept is clear. Now you want to write the information. Now it needs a structure. How would you write? You are successful to write a report that is based on a trend, and that trend was represented by bar graph, and the bar graph shows the average run rate or the numbers from South Africa in comparison to India. You find out the comparison of one match of the cricket between the India and South Africa. Now you find out the comparison, and that comparison was in bar graph. You collect the information. Now how would you write that information? This is very difficult, but it is easy also. How is it easy and how is it difficult? It is difficult when you don't understand, and it is easy when you understand it. Got it? You got the whole information. Now come to the structure. You can see here I have forgotten the structure. Let me write it. Structure of report. You got the whole information. Now you are going to structure that information. How would you write? You see the very first paragraph you can see is introduction of that information that you already find it out of the trend or comparison. Now the structure of a report is based on 3 paragraphs. Paragraph number 1 is introduction. Paragraph number 2 is overview. Overall, what is happening? You have to note it down that. And then paragraph 3 is based on details. You will provide the whole details. Now, I'll tell you that how would you write the introduction. Now, today we have 1 week classes on the trend, and we have 3 paragraphs. This means that we have 3 days work. 1, 2, 3. I will give you a homework of these 6 task sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Today, you will write the introduction of all those 6 sources. Introduction in bar graph, introduction of line graph, introduction of pie chart, introduction of a table, introduction of a map, and introduction of a diagram. How would you write the introduction? That is very important. You may came across the trend in all of them. You may came across the comparison in them. You may came across the process. Got it? How would you write the introduction? You will write the introduction here, the very first paragraph. Today you will write the 6 source introduction. By tomorrow we will be talking about the overview, and after tomorrow we will be talking about the details, and after that I will check your homework, and the other day you will have some recommendation and changes in it. Thus the week will be off. Got it? So today you will be talking about and writing about the introduction. How would you write the introduction? Rewrite the question in your own words using the time period. In the introduction, the most important thing is time period. Over a period of dash years. Now, the most important thing is time. If you find out the time, how much time, how much period of the time you have to mention, this question is very important. Now, in the trend, for example, this is the question, the description. For example, the graph explicates the total number of minutes in billion in UK, Sweden, Norway, from, look at here, it will be in the question, from 1999 to 2005. This is a trend. How would you know from the question? When a question is provided in front of you, how would you know that it is a trend, it is a comparison, or it is a process? How would you know? You will know from this statement. Here would be a statement, and then the date would be mentioned here, 1999 and 2005. So in the middle of it, how many years?
6.
6 years or 5 years? 1999 and 2005, 6 years. So you will write over a period of 6 years. Then you will write from 1999 to 2005. That's it. This is called a trend. It has another aspect. Sometimes the question is in this form. The bar graph, line graph, anyone, it may be anyone. The pie chart explicates or illustrates. These 2 vocabulary you will replicate in the mind. You are not allowed to use describe, explain, and some other words. No. Only 2. Explicates or illustrates. You will use 2 type of vocabulary describing the main trend. If it is in comparison, how would you write? The bar graph illustrates the comparison of 2 dash is that in 2000. So this means that there are variable A, variable B, and variable C. For example, there is a comparison of 3 shops. Shop A, shop B, and shop C. And someone is trying to find out the comparison that which one has earned a lot. So he or she has to earn to make the analysis in 1 year. Comparison in 1 year. In 2000. So I will be able to find out the data in 2000. For example, A has earned 5%, B has earned 10%, and C has earned 15% in 2000. But over here in the trend, how many years it has? 6 years.
6 years.
Now we are trying to know or to discover that who has did what. For example, if I try to find out the trend here, so I will note down in 6 years who has got the highest trend. It has got this one, it has got this one, and it has got this one. So where is the trend?
C.
C. C has highest trend and A has lowest trend. Got it? Now let me show you some questions for you and also the book. Look at here. I have written here 80%. What does it mean? There are 80% chances in the paper based on trend. You have to be very active in trend. 80% chances in the real test. 15% chances of comparison and 5% chances of process. But maybe this time you appear and you came across the process. What would you do? You have to prepare for all of them. Got it? Let me show you the homework page. I'll share it in your group. Now this is picture 1, bar graph. Bar graph in comparison. And this is line graph. And this is pie chart. And this is map. And this is diagram. Sometimes we don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. Got it? So you will write the introduction of bar graph here. You will write the introduction of bar graph in comparison. You will write down the line graph introduction. Then you will write down the pie chart introduction. Then you will write down the introduction of a map. Got it? Let's continue to discuss the questions. Every graph has a question. You see in the box. These are the questions. Got it? How would we rephrase it? The chart below shows. You can't write below. You can't write shows. You can't write the chart. You should mention the name of the chart. For example, the bar graph, the line graph, the pie chart, the process, the map, illustrates or explicates. But explicates words is good. Now, the bar graph explicates the total number. You can write the average number of minutes. You have to change, you have to use the synonyms. The average number of minutes in billion of telephone calls. You can't change telephone and you can't change calls. Telephone calls in the UK now divided. You can change divided in another word. Categorized, separated into 3 main parts or categories. Now over here, after the comma, you can use this time period. The bar graph explicates the total number of minutes in billion in the UK, separated, divided, categorized into 3 main points over a period of
7 years.
7 years from 1995 to 2002. If it is written between, so you can use the bar graph explicates the total number of minutes in billion of telephone calls in the UK, categorized into 3 categories, into 3 parts between 1995 and 2002. You can mention that. It will be available, don't worry. It will be in front of you. The only change is, 15% or 20% changes. But this time period is very important. Over a period of this, from this to that. This is the complete introduction. Got it? Now let's move on to another page. Okay. The bar graph compares the UK graduate and postgraduate students who did not go into full-time work did after leaving college in 2008. Why? Because it is comparison.
Yes, sir.
In 2000. There is no other date to mention. If there is another date, so you can mention and or to. Over here is only a single date, so it is comparison. And it is better to use the word compare in the start. The bar graph compares. The two, the bar graphs. Because two, if it is two, definitely two because it is comparison. The bar graphs, not compares, only compared. The bar graphs compared the data or the information of UK graduate and postgraduate students who has completed or who did not go into full-time work did after leaving college in 2008. That's it. This is the another introduction. And same is the case here, line graph and then pie chart and then map or diagram. I will also share this IELTS Advanced Writing book to you people. This book has two tasks. Unit number 1. This book start has been taken from the essay writing. So you will go back to page number 78 or page number 79. Page number 79 is trend and then comparison and then maps. The book has been started from task 2. Got it? But we are going to start from task 1. Graphs with a trend. You will read this book in your home because we don't have that much time. And this information I have already provided for you in various books. This paragraph is divided into 4 paragraphs, but the current updates is based on 3 paragraphs. In the body, there is 1 paragraph and then details. Before it was 2 paragraphs, got it? But you will write only 3 paragraphs. Then you will drag down. You see the graph shows data about the annual earning of 3 bakeries in London, 2000 and 2010.
It's a trend.
The graph illustrates, yes, the graph illustrates or explicates the information about the annual earning of 3 bakeries in London over a period of 10 years from 2000 to 2010. That's it. Then you will drag it down. Here are some information for you. Spotlight 1. Rewording introduction. How would you reword your introduction? Means rephrase. Now you see here, the graph shows information about how many people visited Australia over an 8 years period. 8-year period between 2000 and 2008.
Yes.
Between 2000 and 2008. The graph illustrates data about the number of people who visited Australia over an 8-year period between 2000 and 2008.
Yes.
Yes. Next, complete these 2 rewrites the topic car sales in the USA 2000 and 2010. The graph shows information about how many
cars are sold.
were sold.
Were sold.
Past tense की बात हो गई था. How many cars were sold in the USA?
Over the time period of 10
Over
years,
the period of 10 years.
10 years
From
2000 to 2010.
Very good. The graph illustrates data about the number of cars
which were sold
in USA.
in the USA.
Got it?
Over the period of
This way you can change it. Now let's move on to another changes. The graph shows about information how much coffee was produced. How much coffee was produced in Kenya over a period of 7 years?
7 years.
From 1999 to 2006. You can change this, okay? Brazil, DVD sales, and USA. And also chocolate production in Colombia, 1997 and 2007. Gas production in Russia, 2003 and 2008. You can practice it in the home. Now writing overview. By tomorrow we'll be talking about the overview. Let's move on to comparison. This is a graph with a trend is a model answer in this book on page 83. The graph shows information about the amount of money which was earned by 3 bakeries in London over a 10-year period between 2000 and 2010. Same is the case here. Comparative graph. Comparative graph, comparison. Now you can drag it down. The graph shows data about the average Saturday sales of 2 bakeries in London in 2010. The bar graph compare the information of the average information of Saturday sales of 2 bakeries in London in 2010. That's it. Now let's move on to the main changes. You can see, you can study it in the home, but don't go for overview because we didn't study overview. By tomorrow we will study overview. Let's move on to the model answer of the comparison. You can see here, leave it. Now, this is the model answer of comparison. The graph compares. This bar graph compares the most popular items sold by 2 bakeries in London on a typical Saturday in 2010. That's it. This is your introduction. Now let's move on to the map and diagram. Okay, this is the map, process and map, where we came across the map and diagram. Let's move on to the process. Look how a cup of tea is made. Drink and enjoy. How many steps?
18.
18 steps. It's easy to mention the number of the steps, but sometimes you came across, the diagram which hasn't include the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move on to the model answer. Process. These pictures illustrate how tea is produced and how a cup of tea is made. There are 18 stages in the diagram, from sowing the seeds in India and China, enjoying a cup of tea at home. This is the introduction. Overview, we will be discussing it by tomorrow. Let's move on to the map. Look, these are 2 maps. Some of the map, the guest link today has a lot of things, but over here does not. You will mention that. Let's move on to that description.
Well, the writing is quite similar to the listening module.
Exactly, yes. Now let's come back here. Map. How would you write the introduction of the map? The two maps show the main changes which have taken place in the town of Kestley between the year 2000 and today. That's it. Very simple. Got it? You will go through it on the introduction. If still you have confusion, so there is another map, there is another website. You can write it with yourself. IELTS-up. IELTS-up.com. When you type the IELTS-up in the Google, you will find this type of dashboard. You will click on it, writing, academic Task-1. Click on it. You will read this whole discussion. Here you can see Task-1 samples with the tips and answer. Sample 1 pie chart, sample 2 diagram, sample 3 line graph, sample 4 bar graph. Got it? You will write down, scroll it down. Introduction, general overview, and specific features means details. 3 paragraph, 1, 2, and 3. Then you will drag it down. You can see how to answer writing task 1. Special vocabulary to describe graphs, linking structure, academic word list. You can see here special vocabulary to describe graphs. Introduction, introducing the graph. The graph table, pie chart, bar chart, diagram gives information about, provides information about, shows, illustrates, compares, explains. But explicates and illustrates is good. You will write that. types of changes. You see here. We will be discussing it inshallah by tomorrow. IELTS Dish Up if you have some problem. Along with that, there is another website, IELTS Focus. You will click on it. It will open this dashboard. After that, you will drag down, click on the writing task 1, and then you will move on to that discussion. You see IELTS General Task 1. It's general training. Listen to your job. Scroll down.
Academic.
IELTS Academic Writing 1 lesson, grammar and vocabulary, and then move on with maps, diagram, bar charts, line graph, pie charts, tables. Any one of them you can click on. When it is open, you see, this is the comparison, this is the model answer. But you have to focus on 3 paragraphs. You will only look to the introduction. And if you still have some problem, so this book is good for you. IELTS Writing Advantage book. See you inshallah by tomorrow. Before explaining that, give me your register. You. Let me explain how would you write. You can write on the blank pages also, or you can use these pages also. You will pick how many pages?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You will clear these 6 pages. Got it? On each page you will give the name, bar graph, line graph, pie chart, table, map and diagram. You will write here.
And
Got
do we
it?
have
What would you do? This place is for introduction. This place is for overview.
Details.
And this place is for details. But you are requested here to not mention introduction here. You should not mention the introduction. Directly you start. The bar graph illustrates this. Then you will leave only one line space, so the examiner may look to it and see that yes, the candidate has developed 3 paragraphs. There must be some difference. One line here, one line here. Overview. You will not mention the overview. The very first word will tell the examiner that he has written overview. Overall, you will write overall here. Then the examiner knows that he has started overview. And then here, detail, looking into details, and then you will continue. So today you will write introduction, it will be with you. By tomorrow I will check it within your copies. If you have not written, so we can't continue the lecture. Then, by tomorrow we will be talking about overview. When you come back after tomorrow's class, then we will talk about the details. After 3 days, you will cut it down this page and give it to me. I'll check it and the other day I'll give the feedback.
Sir, in introduction, we have to complete all the sections,
What on the section means?
Different comparison process.
bar graph, line graph, pie chart,
No.
table.
That time you were busy, with your phone and some other thing. I was looking to you. And you missed the very important information and I'm going to repeat it. Can you please close the